It's coffee time. Iced coffee time. So of course you have those moments where there are those huge chunks of ice and not quite enough coffee left in there. And so if you tip it too much, you wind up just sucking on ice cubes instead of actually getting coffee in your mouth. So you have to tilt it ever so gently and hope that all of the ice crumples up in the back and that all of the really cold coffee goes in your mouth, and it's so delicious. Also, hello, we are back. We are back in our lovely room. We have a nice soft Sherlock cat because he was given a bath, if you will remember, and he was very manly about it. But alas, there is one thing that is very off. One thing that you might say is missing. They lost my bag today, and it was the worst. I've never been in a situation where I've gone on a plane, come off the plane, and my bag was not there. That's never happened to me before. It has, specifically my backpacking backpack, which I always take with me, that has been put in oversized before because it's so long. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's in the oversized area. I was like sitting there waiting. My ride was there. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I think they lost my bag, but I'm checking the oversized area. We're going to see if I can find it. I'm so sorry. Bag was not there. So I went to the luggage help desk, which I didn't even know was a thing until now. Went to the luggage help desk. I was like, hello, I have this bag. They said, okay, let's look at your tags and your receipt and all of that. So I handed all of that over to them. Turns out that they had stopped 2 of the conveyor belts. So she was like, okay, well, typically when somebody can't find their bag, it means that it's stuck on one of the conveyor belts and nobody realized that there was still a bag on there. So we'll just start them up again. I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there, walking back and forth between 2 different conveyor belts, the oversized conveyor belt as well as the normal conveyor belt, to see if maybe my bag showed up. And didn't see it. So I walked back sadly over to the desk, and the lady was so nice. It's like, hi, so my bag was it's nowhere to be found. She said, okay, I'm going to call a guy who works back there and see if he knows anything about it, and otherwise we're going to fill out all your paperwork. I was like, okay. Meanwhile, in my mind, I'm going, there must be a person who has a profession of going to these luggage conveyor belts and just taking people's luggage. That must be a thing, right? So I'm sitting there going, what if somebody has my bag? Like, what if somebody was like, this one looks good? And of course, the one time that my overpacking tendencies really bite me in the butt, because normally, okay, I went through this really long stage for a while where I was like, I don't need to pack as much as most people do, because typically I rewear the same pair of pants a few times. So I really, for a week-long trip, only need like 2 pairs of pants and then a bunch of t-shirts, and my t-shirts are pretty thin. So I can typically just take like a book-sized backpack, like a small one. Which is what I did. That's what I did in Ukraine. I took just like a tiny backpack to Ukraine. But unfortunately, then I wind up running into all of these scenarios where I'm like, I didn't have time or space to bring double amounts of anything. So, like, if one of my sweatshirts is messed up and I'm in a really cold place, I have to keep wearing that sweatshirt, you know? And so now I've done kind of the reverse, where I'm still just using my backpack, but because I know how to pack it really tightly, I know you guys are going to make all sorts of jokes. I know you. Anyway, because I know how to pack it really tightly, I can fit so much clothing in there. So much clothing in there, along with, you know, all of my toiletries, along with all of my makeup, with my computer. My laptop is in there because honestly, I hate taking my laptop as a carry-on. It's always obnoxious. Always. I used to have it with me, and then one day I realized, you know, I don't need to have this with me. I now have a smartphone. Just make sure that it's loaded up with all sorts of fun games, and I will just put my laptop in whatever bag I check. Won't even worry about it. And now, I've been faced with this scenario where I'm like, if they lose your bag, and you're like me, you wind up with so much of your clothing gone all of a sudden, with no laptop anymore. Like, your toothpaste and toothbrush is gone, all of this, like, so many things, and I'm just like, oh man, I need to plan this stuff better. Especially since, like, as I get older, I'm traveling more. So now I'm like, I need to figure out how to have a contingency plan when this sort of stuff goes down. So, yeah. Long story short, the guys didn't find anything back there. She was like, okay, well, you came from Portland, so I'm going to call Portland. I'm going to call PDX and see if maybe it was left there. Her excuse, okay, her reasoning for this was, well, it says that you checked in a little bit early, so it might have never made it on the plane. And I was like, no. That's not how this works. Like, I don't work at an airport. But I would assume that the only excuse you could have if you show up early is, oh, they put it in the area for that plane, but because it was early, they put it on the plane that was in that spot before the plane that came into that you were supposed to be on. Not, oh, it never went on a plane because you were too early. That doesn't happen. I don't think that happens. So I was like, okay. She was like, it's probably still just in Portland. It's like, okay. I don't believe you, but okay. So, filled out all this stuff. Finally left. Came back here. Got to see all of my friendles. Got to see my kitty. It was great. And hanging out playing PID, which is a really fun game. It's on Steam and it's on PSN. I don't know if it's on Xbox Live. I never looked. But it's a really, really fun game. I really like it. So I recommend it to you. But yeah, played that for a while, and then I got a phone call. Got a phone call like half an hour ago. Whoa. Oh man, my lip has been super chapped. This is so weird. Depending on the lighting, it stands out so much. Like right there, you see how it's like a darker red? Right there is where my lip has been so chapped that it has hurt the entire time I was in Oregon. I don't know why that is. And I just did it. I keep trying not to, like, lick my lips because, you know, that always makes them worse for some reason. But then it, like, stings. Anyway, so, I got a call from them. I would like to remind you that I thought that it was ridiculous for them to say, oh, it's probably still in Portland. The lady calls, and, I was deep into PID. So I wound up hearing the voicemail later. But the voicemail said something along the lines of, hello, so we found your bag. It's in Hawaii. So we won't be getting it back until later tonight, but we'll be sure to bring it to your home. Have a good night. And I was like, that was the weirdest voicemail I've ever heard, but it's in Hawaii! I was so correct. I felt really smug about it. It's like, there's no way it's still in Portland. It's in Hawaii, guys. Don't worry. It's in Hawaii. So now I've experienced them losing my bag, which is very fun. But at least, you know what, I'm going to say something positive instead of complaining about this. At least this happened on my way back here, rather than when I was going to Portland. Because at least now, I still have all of my other stuff, right? It's not like I'm stuck high and dry without clothes. Because I know people that that's happened to before, and it's so sad. I had a friend who, she and her dad went on a cruise together, which I know, boo-hoo, poor them on a cruise. But the entire time that they were on the cruise, they only had one set of clothes because their luggage was lost and they couldn't get it to them. I was like, that must suck a lot. That must blow a little. But yeah. So, lost my bag today. I can't. Well, I was able to take a shower, so that's fortunate. I was able to take a shower with a little help from my friends, but I don't have a toothbrush or toothpaste, and that's very sad. I am excited that they are going to just bring the bag back to my house, but because it's not like If it was an airline where they said, oh, first 2 checked bags are free, like on Southwest or something, I would have been like, I didn't have to pay anything extra for it. It sucks that it was lost, but I'm not gonna, like, cry, you know? Not saying that I'm, like, about to burst into tears, like, I can't believe I lost my bag, but I'm probably going to contact them and be like, hey, you know that check bag charge? I'd really like it if you took that off. And maybe gave me some free miles. No? Okay, just thought I'd check. I have a friend whose mom, anytime anything goes wrong with any company, she is so on it. She immediately calls the company and is like, excuse me, don't you think it is ridiculous that this happened? And they're always like, oh, it definitely is. Would you like lots of free things? And she's like, I guess that'll help heal the wound. She just gets all sorts of free stuff. And I'm like, I'm not that person. I can't be that person. But in a situation like this, where I'm like, I feel like I'm in the right to call them up and say, you put my bag in Hawaii and I had to pay for it. I'd like it if you gave me back my money. I think that that's reasonable. But, long story short, again, I'm back in LA and we're watching Walking Dead tonight. So, you know what? Everything is going all right. My cat's all soft because my roomies gave him a bath and I just got to eat a bunch of pad thai and life's good. I'm very glad that they found my bag, though. I did not want to have to somehow get another laptop and lots of comfy shirts. It probably in the end would have been good for me. Like, oh no, you're missing all sorts of pants and shirts now. What are you going to do? And I'd be like, well, my closet is manageable now. Anywho, I'm going to go get ready to go see Walking Dead. But I hope that you guys had a great day and a great weekend, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mwah!